Hello students, we are discussing a chapter called environmental issues. Okay, in the previous class we discussed a different type of topic. In this chapter, the topics like one is the pollution, pollutants, effects of air pollution, then prevention of air pollution, then controlling vehicular air pollution, catalytic converter, use of CNG, noise pollution, in that harmful effects of noise pollution, prevention of noise pollution, then water pollution, in that the domestic sewage and industrial effluents changes take place on discharge of sewage into water, the changes like degradation, algal blooms, sewage associated with diseases, heavy toxic metals. Okay, now in this class we are going to discuss a topic called as a biomagnification. Biomagnification. Biomagnification is defined as increase in concentration of toxicant or non-biodegradable pollutants at successive trophic level is called biological magnification. Once again, increase in concentration of the toxicant or non-biodegradable pollutants at successive trophic level is called biological magnification. So, what the toxicants are there or non-biodegradable pollutants are there, those concentration is gradually increases in every trophic level. Trophic level we are going to see in the food chain. For example, there is a one grazing food chain is there. Producers like plants eaten by herbivores, then plants, then herbivores, then primary consumers, secondary consumers. Okay, herbivores are the primary consumers and carnivores are the secondary consumers. So, if the non-biodegradable waste are accumulated in the plants, those are transferred into a herbivorous. In that herbivorous, the concentration is increases. When the carnivores consumed the herbivores, from the herbivores, this a toxic or non-biodegradable substances are enter into the consumers. In the body of the consumers, their concentration is increases. That increasing concentration of non-biodegradable pollutants at the successive trophic level is called nothing but the biomagnification. Biomagnification. Then it is also called as a biological magnification. A few toxic substances often present in industrial wastewater undergo the biomagnification in aquatic food chain. This happens because a toxic substance accumulated by an organism cannot be metabolized or excreted and is thus passed on to the next higher trophic level. This phenomenon is well known for mercury and DDT. So, biomagnification, how the concentration, the increasing of concentration of toxic chemicals in each trophic level we are going to understand by a mercury and DDT. So here a flow chart is there. So biomagnification of DDT in aquatic food chain. Water, zooplankton, small fishes, large fishes, fish eating birds. Water. In the water, if the water, a water body is there, for example river or pond, so such water body is undergo pollution. So in that water there is a 0.003 ppm parts per million, such amount of a non-biodegradable a substance or toxic pollutants are accumulated. Such water is consumed by zooplankton. Such non-biodegradable pollutants enter into the zooplanktons, such concentration is increases like 0.04 ppm. Then small fishes. Small fishes consume the zooplanktons. Then the non-biodegradable concentration increases to 0.5 ppm. Then 2 ppm in large fishes. Then 5 ppm in fish eating birds. Like that here the ppm, the values, the concentration of non-biodegradable pollutant is gradually increases in aquatic food chain. This is called as a biomagnification. Biomagnification. Okay. Then we are moving on to the next topic called as eutrophication. Before going to that, here I told you Mercurian DDT, a phenomenon. For example, DDT, dichloro-diphenyl trichloroethane. We are using this DDT as an insecticide to kill some mosquitoes, some other things, or a house flies. When we are apply this DDT into the water, the DDT its concentration is 0.003 pm. It enter into the zooplankton and its concentration increases to 0.04 pm, then 0.5 pm, then 2 pm, then a 5 pm. Like that, the DDT is a one type of a non-biodegradable, and mercury is also non-biodegradable. Its concentration level is goes on decreases in each and every trophic level. It's called as a biomagnification. When come to the eutrophication. So before going to that, the high concentration of DDT disturb the calcium metabolism in birds, which causes thinning of eggshell and their premature breaking, eventually causing decline in bird population. Very important thing. Okay, bird population. So the high concentration of DDT disturbs the calcium metabolism in birds, which causes thinning of eggshell and their premature breaking, eventually causes a decline in bird population. It is that much amount of effect we are going to see that DDT to the some birds, shell of the birds. Then eutrophication, the process of nutrient enrichment of water and consequent loss of species diversity is referred to as eutrophication. Is also defined as one more way is eutrophication is the natural aging of lake by nutrient enrichment of its water. See, natural eutrophication, how it is taken place. Okay. Here in young lakes, the water is cold and clear. This cold and clear supports the little aquatic life. With the time, the streams draining into the lake introduce nutrients such as nitrogen, phosphorus, which encourage the growth of aquatic organisms. As the growth of aquatic organism, the lake's fertility increases, plants and animals' life burdens goes on, and organic remains begin to deposited on the lake bottom. Over the many years, many centuries, as silt and organic debris fill up and lake grows shallower and warmer. With warm water, organisms supplanting those that thrive in a cold environment, marshy plants take root in the shallows and begin to fill in the original lake basin. Finally, the lake gives way to large masses of floating plants like bog masses, finally converting into land, water bodies into land. Depending on climate, size of the lake and other factors, the natural aging of lake may span thousands of years. The pollutants from the man's activities like effluents from the industries and homes can radically accelerate the aging process. This phenomenon has been called cultural or accelerated eutrophication. Okay, in briefly, once again, I am going to say what happens in young lakes. The water is cold and warm. In this environment, the little life is supported. The time the stream drains into the lake increase the nutrients like nitrogen and phosphorus. Increase in nutrient encourages the growth of aquatic organisms. Over many years, a silt and organic debris pile up and lake grows shallower and warmer. The warm water organisms dominate over the thrive in cold environment. Finally, the marsh plants give rise the roots in the shallows and begin to fill in the original lake basin. Then the lake gives way to large masses of floating plants, finally converting into land. See, then the pollutant from the man's activity we call the anthropocentric. The pollutant from the man's activities like effluents from the industries, homes can radically accelerate the aging process. This phenomenon is called as a cultural or accelerated eutrophication. The main causes of eutrophication is sewage and agricultural and industrial waste. Sewage and agricultural as well as industrial waste. Then the prime contaminants are nitrate and phosphate. Majorly the nutrients like a nitrate and phosphate is increases and makes the eutrophication. Then effects of eutrophication. Unsightly, the scum and unpleasant odors we are going to see where the eutrophication is occur. Then robbing the dissolved oxygen from water. Pollutant inflow kills the fish. Decomposition of dead fishes causes further depletion of dissolved oxygen. Finally, a lake can literally choke to death. Okay, choke to death. So, what happens? During the past centuries, lakes in many parts of the earth have been severely eutrophied by sewage and agricultural as well as industrial waste. The prime contaminants nothing but the nitrates and phosphates, which act as plant nutrient. They overnest the growth of algae, causing the scum and unpleasant odors, and then robbing the water dissolved oxygen. At the same time, other pollutant flowing into lake may poison whole population of fish whose decomposing remains further deplete the water's dissolved oxygen contained. In such fashion, lake can literally choke to death. Okay, so this is about the eutrophication, natural eutrophication, cultural eutrophication, causes and effects. Now we are move on to the thermal pollution. Thermal pollution, warming up of an aquatic ecosystem to the point where the desirable organisms are adversely affected. The causes of thermal pollution is heated or thermal waste water flowing out of electricity generating units. Example, thermal power plants. The effects of thermal pollution is thermal waste water eliminates or reduces the number of organisms sensitive to high temperature. Second, it enhances the growth of plants and fish in extremely cold areas, but only after causing damage to the indigenous flora and fauna, plants and animals. See, there is a one case study is there. There is a one case study is there. The case study of integrated wastewater treatment. The wastewater includes sewage can be treated in an integrated manner by utilizing a mixed artificial and natural process. The best example, town of Arcata, situated in the northern coast of California, collaborating with biologists from the Humboldt State University. The town peoples created a integrated wastewater treatment process within the natural system. A, a case study of integrated wastewater treatment is, the best example is a town of Arcata. It is situated in the northern coast of California. This is established by the collaborating with the biologists from the Humboldt State University, the town people, then town people. So, what is the main purpose of this one? Nothing but the integrated wastewater treatment process within the natural system. Cleaning or treatment occurs in two stages. First, conventional sedimentation. Filtering and chlorine treatment are the major one. After this stage, lots of dangerous pollutants like dissolved heavy metals still remain. Then the innovative approach was taken, the second step, that is, the biologists developed a series of 6 connected marshes over 60 hectares of marshland. Appropriate plants, algae, fungi, and bacteria were seeded in this area, which neutralize, absorb, and assimilate the pollutants. However, the water flows through the marshes, gets purified naturally. The marshes also constitute a sanctuary with high level of biodiversity in the form of fishes, animals, and birds that now reside there. A citizens group called Friendship of Arcata Marsh, FOAM, FOAM, Friendship of Arcata Marsh, are responsible for the upkeep and safeguarding of this wonderful project. Okay. All this time we have assumed that removal of waste requires water, there is a creation of sewage. Sewage. So in the town of Arcata, what happens? The biologist as well as a town people able to naturally treat the wastewater process. Conventional sedimentation, filtration, chlorine methods. Sedimentation, where to what the sewage water is there, in that the solid particles are some of the solid particles are deposited at the bottom region. On the top, what the floating particles are, we are going to remove. By adding some chlorine, we have to remove the suspended particles. Then, next, what happens after this one? A biologist develop a series of 6 connected marshes over 60 hectares marshland. In the marshland, so the biologist able to establish or constructed 6 connected marshes in 60 hectares. So the marshes like plants, algae, fungi, bacteria, those are seeded or grow in this area. These marshes like algae, fungi, bacteria able to neutralize or absorb, assimilate the pollutants. How the water flows along with marshes? The marshes like algae, fungi, bacteria able to absorb, neutralize, assimilate the sewage. Finally, it gets purified. The marshes constitute a sanctuary. That area is looked like a sanctuary with high level of biodiversity in the form of fishes, animals, birds. So, what the peoples are supported this project, this collaboration. The citizens of Arcata group called as a Friends of Arcata Marsh folk responsible for a safe gardening of this wonderful project. Wonderful project. So, lastly, so there is a one more thing is nothing but the ecological sanitization. Ecological sanitation is a sustainable system for handling human excreta using dry composting toilets. This is a practical and hygienic, efficient and cost-effective solution to human waste disposal. With this compositing method, human excreta can be recycled into resource as a natural fertilizer. Eco sand toilets are being used in the Kerala and Sri Lanka. Okay, Sri Lanka. So, what happens? Eco sanitization. The human beings, what they release the human excreta as the urine or fecal matter. That is recycled into a resource called as natural fertilizers. So, in this what happens? What the human excreta is there, we are used as a natural fertilizer. This resource, this natural fertilizer reduce the needed of chemical fertilizers. So, we are using the natural fertilizers, alternately we are going to reduce the chemical fertilizers. So, such type of sanitization we are called as eco sand toilets. Eco sand toilets. So, in the eco sand toilets, what the human being release the excreta and fecal matter that is preserved, then recycled as a natural fertilizers, and this type of eco sand is successfully run in the areas like Kerala and Sri Lanka. Kerala and Sri Lanka. This is called the eco sanitization. But there are many number of advantages are there. One is that we are going to get the natural fertilizers, we are going to reduce the chemical fertilizers, then these are the less cost effective and hygienic, efficient also. Okay, this is about the eco sanitization. In this class, we discussed the very important concepts like biomagnification, the increasing concentration of toxicant or non-biodegradable pollutants at successive trophic level is called biomagnification. Eutrophication, nothing but a process of nutrient enrichment of water and consequent loss of species diversity is called eutrophication. Then then ecological sanitation, a case study integrated wastewater treatment, that is a Friends of Arcata Marsh. Okay. In the next class, we are going to discuss electronic waste, hospital waste or other solid waste. Thank you.